Today we'll be telling the story of Saint Cajetan, whose feast is celebrated on August 7th. Saint Cajetan was born on October 1st, 1480 in what is now Venice, Italy. Cajetan was born to noble parents and received a good education. He studied law in Padua and went on to work for Pope Julius II as a diplomat. After the death of Pope Julius II, Cajetan moved back to Venice, where he was ordained a priest in 1516. In 1522, he founded a hospital in Vicenza, and by 1523, he also founded one in Venice. Cajetan became friends with Jerome Emiliani, whom he helped establish the Congregation of Clerks Regular. In 1540, Cajetan founded a bank to help the poor and give them an alternative to usurers who charged very high interest rates. It became the Banco di Napoli, which is considered to be one of the oldest banks in the world. Saint Cajetan is the patron saint of bankers, unemployed people, workers, gamblers, and job seekers. Now it's time for our story. Cajetan walked along the cold streets of Rome. The air was cool and crisp, but Cajetan did not notice. His heart was full of joy and warmth. Tonight was Christmas Eve, one of his favorite days of the year. He was headed to the Basilica of St. Mary Major, one of the most beautiful churches in Rome. Cajetan loved this special place. Not only was it extraordinary in its beauty, but also in its history. Cajetan loved the story of the basilica. He loved how the Blessed Mother herself had asked for it to be built and chosen the location herself. How amazing it must have been for those involved, he thought. What an incredible miracle to see the Virgin Mary. Centuries earlier, a Roman patrician named Giovanni and his wife longed to have a baby. They prayed and prayed to the Blessed Mother to hear their prayers. And she appeared to them and told them she wanted a church built in her honor on Esquiline Hill, and they would know the exact spot because it would snow there in the middle of summer. Giovanni went to visit Pope Liberius and was amazed to hear that Mary had visited him in a dream and also told him about the miraculous snow that was coming. On August 5th, 352, snow fell on Esquiline Hill, and the people staked the outline of what would become the Basilica of St. Mary Major, also known as Our Lady of the Snows. Cajetan smiled to himself as a light snow began to fall from the starlit sky. Since that time, countless popes and saints and pilgrims of all kinds had prayed at that special place. Cajetan had a special devotion to the Blessed Mother and couldn't wait to go and pray at the relics of the Holy Crib housed within the basilica. What a wonderful way to spend Christmas Eve, he thought. Finally, Cajetan was at the basilica. He walked up the steps, past the large marble pillars, and into the quiet church. It was a magnificent sight. Beautiful mosaics, paintings, and marble carvings surrounded him. So much love and time had gone into each one of these things, all to give glory to the Mother of God and her Son, Jesus. Many beautiful things had been added to the church over the centuries, each with its own story. Candles were gently burning at the side altars, and further down near the main altar as well, below which the relics of the Holy Crib were housed. Saint Cajetan made his way down the aisle towards the crypt of the Holy Crib and down the stairs to where the holy relics were kept. Suddenly, a brilliant light filled the small crypt, and there before him stood the Blessed Virgin Mary, holding in her arms the little baby Jesus. She was radiantly beautiful, and the baby looked so peaceful as he slept. Cajetan was so stunned, both by the brilliance of Our Lady and by the shock of her appearance, that he froze, unsure of what to do. Mary approached him, smiling sweetly, and lifted the Christ child towards him, as if to put the baby into his arms. Cajetan was still in a state of shock when he noticed St. Jerome, who was buried there near the Holy Crib at the Basilica, and St. Joseph behind Mary. They too were smiling, and the two men motioned encouragingly that Cajetan should take the baby. So gathering his courage, Cajetan took from the Blessed Mother the little baby Jesus into his own arms. He gazed down at the beautiful newborn, overwhelmed with love and joy, surprised that his heart didn't just melt on the spot. St. Cajetan held the Christ child in his arms that Christmas Eve, surrounded by the Virgin Mary, St. Jerome, and St. Joseph, grateful to be part of the family of God, past, present, and future. The story of St. Cajetan reminds us that we are all a part of God's family, and the stories of the Church continue to be written. St. Cajetan, pray for us.